Welcome back, Curious. Today we'll be getting to an episode that many of you have asked for. We are going to be talking about Amybeth McNulty, one of the emerging stars of the acting industry. This young girl gained international recognition thanks to her leading role in the series Annie with an E, and she instantly stole the hearts of the audience with her talent and charm. Where did she come from into the world of television? What unpleasant things happened to her when she became famous? What about her career after the creators decided to end the favoured series? Are there any projects on the horizon in which we will be able to see her? Stay with me until the very end to learn all about this young actress, but before we continue, don't forget to hit the bell and the subscription button so you don't miss any of our future videos. Practically everyone who sat down to watch the hit Netflix series Annie with an E right after it premiered was asking themselves the same question: who is this red-haired girl? Well, we'll say this from the very beginning that was not her natural hair colour. For the role, Amybeth dyed it red every 2 weeks. So, Miss McNulty was born on November 7th, 2001 in Letterkenny, an approximately 20,000-year-old town in Donegal County, Ireland. Her father is Irish and her mother's Canadian. From an early age, she showed interest in the artistic world. She attended ballet classes and even performed in amateur theatre in the town where she lived. Later, she also appeared in musicals by the writer and composer Paul Boyd, where she developed and gained more and more confidence. You must know that Annie with an E was not the first production in which she appeared in. Of course, it was the first one that had people around the world talking about it and got her name out there, but Amybeth, who played in the titular role, already had her first steps in front of the camera behind her. Already in 2014, at the age of 13, she started playing small episodic roles. Later, in 2015, she played in several episodes of the Clean Break series and in the 2016 horror film Morgan, where she played the 10-year-old version of Morgan. The adult one had been played by Anya Taylor-Joy, whose name in recent times had been on everyone's lips thanks to the Queen's Gambit series. If you want to know more about her, then be sure to check out our previous video. And so, Amybeth knew the direction she wanted to go in for years and she was slowly moving towards it. Her career accelerated at a rapid pace when, at the age of 16, she delighted audiences around the world as Redhead Annie. However, before this happened, she had to defeat more than 1,800 other girls who, like her, were also applying for this role. And it wasn't easy to achieve this and become the one. From the producer's point of view, it was a very long and tedious search on a global scale to find a suitable candidate. The directors were looking for a young actress at castings scattered across 3 continents. They even conducted an online search so that any girl from anywhere in the world that matched the character's profile could take part in the initial auditions. Well, we know that without the perfect Annie there would simply be no success of the show. And yes, Amybeth's role ensured the fame and popularity of both the production and of course herself. We don't have to tell anyone that this series is based on the novel Annie of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. It was a sure catapult to fame. Moira Wally Beckett, who was responsible for the series, gave the picture a bit darker version than the original novel, but the basic story was preserved. On screen, Amybeth was accompanied by R.H. Thompson as the shy and emotionally stifled Matthew Cuthbert, and Geraldine James, who played the role of the indifferent Marilla Cuthbert. They are the ones who decide to adopt an orphan because they need a person to walk on their farm, and then in their lives she appears, a girl with characteristic braided red hair, intelligent, talkative, and imaginative. The story of teenage Annie, with her great strength of survival and her vivid imagination, show in the 2000 series captivated the audience, as one would expect from producers of the show who had previously been responsible for the creation of Breaking Bad, among others. The first season was quite a gloomy and harsh start to the rest of Miss Shirley's adventures. Wally Beckett brought a bit of a dignified 21st century sentimentality to the history that was set in 1890. It can even be said to contain some random feminist elements due to the way it shows the cruelty and neglect of a childhood. Amybeth herself noted that working with the screenwriter was inspiring. The girl said that in her script and words the Canadian conveys and confirms how great she is, a strong and extremely talented woman. For this reason, young McNulty repeatedly stressed that she felt honored to have been part of the project. And getting the title role in Netflix's hit show meant turning her life upside down. Suddenly, the teenager who was taking small steps in front of the camera had found herself very far from her peaceful life in Ireland. Amybeth, an only child from a small town who had been taught at home all her life, showed that she had excellent social skills because she managed to suddenly change and adapt to the world of international and noisy productions. She is characterized by professionalism on set, and based on the interviews she gave, she is perceived as very intelligent and brilliant. For their part, Netflix had pointed out that the issue of gender identity, prejudice, feminism, and empowerment in society are really interesting and important topics in this drama. Already during the production of the first season, the young actress confessed that she had to grow up on some issues because of the kind of problems that affected her character. Amybeth perfectly reflected the character of Annie, a young and interesting girl whose life was going on about 130 years ago, at a time when access to information was limited limited. Interestingly, Amybeth already had an introduction to this story as a child. When she was 9 years old, she received the Anne of Green Gables book series as a birthday present. However, what enchanted a youngster in the series, who knew the story thanks to the book mentioned above, was the turn of action that Netflix gave it precisely because of the problems with more contemporary overtones. Do you curious know the story of the orphan named Annie from the series? Or have you read the original books from the Anne of Green Gables series? Critics and viewers commented on Amybeth's performance, saying that it was unique and perfectly showed an open girl who intended to never belong to something or someone, and one that had character, individuality, and great imagination. In interviews, the young actress made it clear that her passion is acting, but not at all costs, as she seemed to follow her conviction above all else. From the information that we found, it appears that she has rejected a role in Game of Thrones because she is vegetarian and did not want to wear real fur. However, we do not know what role she had auditioned for. What do you think? Will Amybeth grew up to be a world movie star? Unfortunately, liked and highly appreciated by the viewers of the series, Annie with an E will not continue. After 3 seasons, the producers made a decision to end the series, and that was incomprehensible to the fans. At the end of November, the supporters of the show had even created a campaign to restore the cancelled series. However, it seems that the decision of the producers was final. Do you think they could change their mind? Would you like for them to do so? But let's go back to the actress herself. The girl, who recently turned 19, was a great success. But not everything is as beautiful as it may seem on the outside. Unfortunately, the world of show business and fans may love a public figure, but from many others there is criticism and even hatred. And Amybeth has already met that side of fame. Although she has gained millions of followers and has been praised for her talent, she has also been met with some negative comments. At the time of the first season, she was only 15 years old. She confessed that bad people didn't sugarcoat their words. McNulty opened up to this problem in interviews and made it clear to everyone that these words hurt her emotionally. Entering the world of recognition, it takes a very high level of awareness and maturity to deal with the many difficult situations that are common in that world. And what was she attacked for? Mainly for her appearance and the way she spoke, because in the show you can appreciate her Irish accent, which not everyone liked. Although she had the support of her loved ones, the negative comments still affected her. That is obviously normal because the audience's opinion at the most important stage of her career is very important to her, and it wasn't easy to deal with the internet haters. One of the clear and strongly articulated messages she gave to her fans was, "In the end, I'm just doing my job, I'm working hard, I'm putting my best foot forward, and the criticism is not going to change anything I've done or will do in the future. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all." However, positive comments about her career are much more important than negative ones, and she knows it. Though talking out loud about experiencing these unpleasant and painful situations and talking about coping with them is important, it is worth talking about such things and not suffocating them in yourself, as not to go through this alone. Many fans are wondering about her career and whether it will end with the cancellation of the series. Despite them waiting for renewal, the reality is that we will probably not see Amybeth McNulty as Annie again. But at the end of the Green Gables adventures does not mean that the end for the 19-year-old's career. One could say that this was just the beginning. Amybeth has already been awarded for being one of the best serial drama actresses, and as you already know, she will be working on a new feature film. The 2 stars of 2 different Annie series will meet in a new Canadian film titled Maternal, which will be directed by Megan Follows, the actress who played Annie Shirley in several miniseries based on the books. Interestingly, she debuted as a director of a psychedelic thriller after she became famous thanks to that series. In her new role, we will see Amybeth play the character of a 15-year-old girl who was seriously injured in a car accident on the way to her father's wedding. However, when she is in a hospital in a coma, she lives in the afterlife, in which she communicates again with her mother who had passed away. At this point, no more details are known, but soon the production should surprise with some more info and announcements. Are you excited to see Amybeth in a different role than the one for which you already know her? If you want, you can follow the girl on her social media pages, where she is more than happy to share insight into her life with her fans. At the moment, her Instagram account is being followed by almost 5 million people. Tell me curious, what do you think about Amybeth's acting in Annie with an E? Have you watched the episodes? Do you think she's an actress who will succeed? Would you like for them to continue with the series? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.